Good afternoon. My name is Jason Colomb, and this is Evaluating and Developing Effective Training, and this is for Human Resource Management with Dr. Lawrence Vappell, and this is the final project presentation for this class. So, effective training facts. Training provides the employee the tools to positively impact their work performance. Better trained employees provide the company with a more productive business or organization. Direct supervision increases employees' confidence, and in turn, they gain a productive skill set. Employees require positive feedback, giving them reassurance and validity. Positive feedback is really important. It's one of the things that I think in training and developing effective training is one of the biggest things, and that's feedback from both the trainee and from the employee. Clear feedback regarding errors should also be employed during training and after. This gives the employee a chance to change their process and increase the productivity within their corporation or business. Effective training begins with knowledge and interpersonal supervisors. So it begins with the supervisors. And that incorporates also them believing in the training themselves. If your staff sees that you don't believe in the training, they're never going to buy in. So it's really important fact to have your supervisors, that trickle down effect, that they're believing in the training so that your staff believes in the training. So effective training objectives and methods. Workbooks provide the employee with information they need to follow policy and procedure. So workbooks, handouts, pamphlets, anything like that to help them kind of go along to explain the reason for the training and why, what affects that policy and procedure. In-services. In-services are huge because you can use those to kind of repeat the information. It's small increments, so you're not dragging it out and making it overbearing, but it kind of gives that opportunity to reiterate those trainings and to bring those things back up. It makes them repetitive throughout the year so that the information becomes embedded in their minds. Again, they get to hear it over and over. This is why we're doing it. This is what it's changing. It's helping us. Motivation. To change can change employee behavior. So again, this is the concept of if everybody's buying in, your staff is going to buy in. If they know that, middle management or direct supervisors are kind of reluctant for the change, then I guarantee you those employers are going to feel that same and repeat that same attitude of not buying into the change. And use different approaches. Employees do not learn the same way. Some people are hands-on. Some people like to have handouts where something's in their hand. Everybody learns different, and that is huge when you're developing and establishing effective trainings. You have to make it approachable for many different styles of learning and stuff like that. And resistance. You're going to have resistance. Encourage it, because when you have resistance and it's productive resistance where it's not just I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here, but it's resistance to a policy or procedure or to a tactic, then that gives the employer and the supervisor a chance to explain, hey, this is why we're doing it, this is what it's being put in place for. So resistance, when productive and it's not just complete negativity, is a good thing. It allows both sides to kind of get while you're doing something. And, even for me, like when I've been involved in trainings, when I understood, okay, we're doing this because it helps and it makes a better product for our customers or it's safer or whatever the case may be, it makes people less resistant to that change. Effective training objectives and methods continued. Knowledge is power. Knowing and learning new things is power. Maximize active learning methods such as hands-on activities rather than passive learning methods such as lectures. Just straight lectures, you're going to have people falling asleep, they're going to be on their phones, they're going to be doing other things. Active participation, whether that's having people vocalize their thoughts, their feelings, or having them actively doing something, is a way more effective methods to training. The article shown that people retain about 90% of what we say and what we do, meaning combination, what we say and do rather than just hearing. People only retain about 10% of what they see, 20% of what they hear, and together that makes 30%. So what they see and hear, it's about 30% of that. Avoid information overload. So telling them too many facts, too many supporting things, so keep it to a minimal break them up, so that kind of things in those trainings. The less information at once means they're probably going to retain more of those key facts, those key points. So try to not give them too much at once. Make sure the employees understand why the change or the information is being implemented. This will enhance their learning experience. It's a fact. If people understand, or you explain the process, not just this is what we're doing, this is while we're doing it. Explain the process. Explain, hey, this is a result of this. It's a safer work environment for everybody, so we are going to do this in result. And if you explain why and people understand and buy into why, more success in that. Okay, effective training objectives. Again, people learn in different ways. Train in many different styles so everybody gets the opportunity to learn what you're teaching and what you're trying to show. Give different variations, hands-on, PowerPoints, different aspects that everybody gets a chance to understand what you're trying to teach. And practice it. Practicing breaks the old habits and creates new ones. So hands-on, or doing that thing, so it takes time to make it a habit. Establish a framework. This will better outline why the changes are being made. Include quizzes, PowerPoints, case studies into the training so that it can be better understood. Gives more options, more variety of learning platforms. Determining the effective training method is effective. Determining if the training method is effective. Benefits must outweigh the risk. When you're figuring out if this training method is effective, you got to make sure that the benefits are going to outweigh the risk before you start that training. Training must be cost effective. We live in a world where time is money, and if you pitch a super expensive training, more than likely it's going to get turned down or somebody's getting in trouble. So make it cost effective. If it's an expensive training, show that it's going to benefit the company in this amount of way, which is going to produce more income. Kirkpatrick's model is an effective way to determine if the training method is effective. And we're going to go into Kirkpatrick's model here more in a minute. The model is made up of 4 levels. Okay? First level, measure the effectiveness from the trainees. Level 2, measure what the employees have learned. So you kind of gauge what they've learned. Did they retain? How much of it did they retain of that information? Level 3 is measure the employees' behavior change once they return to the job. So was there a change in behavior after they started employing those new tactics? Level 4 is measure whether the training benefited the employer or not. So after it's been a little time, you've kind of gathered some data from these employees, employing this new tactic or new training. Evaluate whether it was effective or not. See if it benefited you and the upper management. So performance-based evaluation methods. There's 3 of these. They're not in any specific order, but there's 3 of them total. So there's the post-training performance method to evaluate employees' performance after the training. So again, you're seeing how effective it was once the training has already taken place. You're kind of evaluating it after it's been done and seeing how effective it was. So there's pre-post training performance method. This is to evaluate employee performance before and after training. So you evaluate before and then kind of compare to the after. So there's pre-post training performance method with a control group. So you have a group that didn't attend the training with a group that did and didn't. And so you compare those 2 results to see, how effective that training was. So that is it. This is the Works Cited page. Thank you so much. This was a great class. Really enjoyed it. Have a great day.